Hey, this is Bing from Wonder Bing Travel. I'm just your average 50-something girl in search of freedom and wonder as I solo road trip across the US with Lexi, my golden retriever. Yes, just me and my dog. And yes, of course, there's a story. Stick around for the long haul and you'll learn all the things. This video is our official kickoff for our Summer of Wonder series. Super excited. For the next bunch of weeks, you're going to get a front row seat as Lexi and I prep for our month-long road trip covering at least 15 states, starting in Pennsylvania and heading to Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, and Lord willing, back home again safely. Starting now, I'm diving in deep as I brainstorm and prep for our month on the road. I'm going to share it all with you. We're putting all the stuff from my new book, There's Wonder Around the Bend. It's an inspiring guide for solo road trippers. And we're going to take all of this information and put it to the test and show how it fits together to create a wonder-filled trip that is unique to everyone. If you don't have the book, find it in the description. Buckle up and let's get started. And today we are starting where I begin every road trip, with a treasure map. Okay, I'm all set up here to show you how I create a treasure map, why I create a treasure map, and how you can create a treasure map as you prepare to take a solo road trip. And remember that this video is actually just the first of our Summer of Wonder series. So for the first several weeks, we're going to be doing all the things about planning a solo road trip. But then we're going to take it on the road and actually do it. Punch that subscribe button and Lexi and I will be so glad to have you along for our entire journey. So I promise you that this video is going to give you the tools that you need to get started with one of the most fun parts of a road trip, which is the brainstorming. So even though I'm showing you my version of what I will do this year for my treasure map, it easily translates so that you can figure out what works for you as well. All right, so we're set up and we're ready to talk about a treasure map. So I do a treasure map of sorts every time I get ready to go on a road trip. It is the first step to sort of figuring it all out and putting together what I think of as a puzzle. And a treasure map is a beautiful image of something that's inspiring and exciting and holds some mystery as you're just trying to figure out where to go. In order to create a road trip that enables you to seek wonder and just joy and beauty and all of those things, it's really important to consider what's meaningful to you, to find places, to seek out places that hold meaning of some sort. In my book, I write a lot about what I call signposts and learning what your signposts are and then using that to inform your decision making and figuring out where you want to go. It's the first step towards fulfilling travel, meaningful road tripping. And once you have that figured out, and then you're diving into your treasure map and figuring out where in this beautiful country do I want to go. A treasure map isn't honing in on things that you're going to definitely do. It's brainstorming, it's dream storming. So over the course of the last many months, especially during the winter, I give a lot of thought to where I might want to go. And eventually I pull the map out, but before I do that, I have been collecting and writing. I'm not very organized sometimes, let me just give you that confession, but I have Post-it notes of different sizes, different colors, with different ideas on them, things I've seen on TV, books that I've read that have informed my decisions and excitement about places that I'd like to visit. It might be a documentary. It might be a post on social media. I try not to use social media as my primary source for figuring out where I'm going to go, but certainly there is plenty of inspiration there. You just have to do a lot of due diligence and research to just make sure that what looks good on Instagram is actually as it is portrayed. And I call all of this mining for ideas, right? And in the book, in the treasure map chapter, I go through all kinds of specific places that you can seek out and collect your information from. My favorite is probably novels and other books, travelogues, people that have just a beautiful way of explaining a place that just makes me want to go so badly. I did a video a while back, you can check it out here, that I shared, I think 5 or 6 of my favorite authors who have inspired my travel. And I've gone to places they have written about specifically because I was so intrigued by the way that they wrote. So I have collected all of my different pieces of paper. One of the things that I did this year, which turned out to be really fun, was to get this butcher block paper and roll it out on the table so that I could scribble all over it. And then I highly recommend that you buy a really nice quality US map. And while when you're actually traveling and on the road, I don't even take this with me. I have state maps, but I start with a map of the US. My favorite one is the Now map, which is this one. I did a short video about it. I'll put the link here. You can grab it on Amazon. It's not expensive. It has a really nice coating so that it doesn't rip easily. It's two-sided, one with colors, one just more gray. And it's proven to be just a really nice size, rolls up easily. It's not the awkward folding kind of map. It just folds up. It comes in this little box right here. And like I said, it's called the Now map, the Now US map. And it also comes with all these cute little stickers. So I'm able to pin or stick a lot of the places that I was interested in going this summer. So highly recommend getting yourself a US map. Love the butcher block this year. I put that underneath it, and then I just started scribbling all over the place as I was thinking of more places, starting to sketch out a bit of an itinerary. I have my trusty notebook. Every year I use a composition book or a small notebook that is going to become my trip book. It starts out as a brainstorming book and it goes on the road with me. And then it's a great keepsake when I'm all done. I have moved on to a different notebook though. I swore I'd always use composition books. The English teacher in me has a hard time letting them go. I have so many of these and I will treasure them always because there's one for every trip. But this year I'm moving to these notebooks, and I'll put the link for them in the description as well. They're a little smaller, they're sturdier, so these are really nice, and they come in different colors, and I love them. So before I start even thinking about narrowing down where I want to go, I just start marking all of these places on the map and seeing if I can find a little bit of a flow to it all. And some of it is going to quickly show that it's way too far away, or it's not going to be for this trip, and it looks like most of the places I'm interested in are kind of in this part of the country, or whatever. You're just going to start to feel and figure it out for yourself. But unless you're just not a visual person at all, having a US map to just put your little stickers on, the Now map comes with those little stickers, which is so awesome, and you can just start to figure out what's going to work for you. And what's really important to know about your treasure map is that you do not think about how much anything costs at this point. Do not think about how much time you have necessarily, unless you know you only have a couple days. And then obviously if you live in Pennsylvania, you're not looking at, Washington State or maybe Texas or California, unless you're going to fly there first. But really treat this stage as brainstorming and just let it all go and just see what it is that appeals to you and have fun with it. All right, so I have taken all my stuff, my notebooks, my other books, lots of different resources, notes that I have taken, lists that I have made, things that I found on Pinterest, all of this, and I started to pin some of them on the map. And so far, you can see most of the ones that I'm super interested in are concentrated out west in Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Colorado, and Utah. I'm hardly done yet, but this is where I started, and this is definitely where things seem to be concentrated. Now remember, I live way over here in Pennsylvania, and I do have to get from A to B. So I will be looking more at things, which route I want to take to get here. And I have a few things pinned in Indiana and Kentucky, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to take a more southern route or a more northern route. That will come later. I haven't figured that out yet, but I know that this is my primary destination area. So creating this treasure map has really given me a great visual to see from really home to west and then back again. And I'll figure out the details down the road. Okay, so I have a pretty good idea now. And believe me, this has taken me some time. I've thought about this a lot, obviously, before I created this for you. This treasure map that I've created, it doesn't have any reservations attached to it. It doesn't have a budget attached to it. It doesn't have a time constraints attached to it yet. It's just truly just a joyful representation of places that I'd like to visit. I won't be able to do all of them, but it gives me a great place to start. So that's what I hope for you right now, that you'll either take your phone and use your notes in your phone, or you will create a document on your computer, or if you have my book, and I also provide space for people to start brainstorming and creating some ideas for their treasure map. And it's such a fun thing to do because it's no holds barred. You just dream and you put it all out there. And we haven't even talked about sort of how you get from there to a solid plan, and that'll come. But for now, just take some time and create your own treasure map and see where it is that you might want to go. Don't forget to go back into the book, chapter 4, I think, and read about your signposts. What are the things that you treasure, things that you feel passionate about, and also what moves you so much it makes you cry. These are the things that undergird a road trip that is filled with wonder. It's not a checklist. This is a brainstorming exercise to really seek wonder and find things that make you happy and feel alive, and you can seek beauty and feel free. And these are all the things that define solo road tripping. You get to make your own decisions, you get to choose all the things, and you do what brings you joy. And however it is that you want to seek wonder, you get to decide this very unique, very fulfilling way of traveling. I also know that taking that first solo road trip, even planning that first solo road trip, can be super intimidating and downright scary. So in There's Wonder Around the Bend, I spend a lot of time really talking about fear and overcoming fear and working through fear and dealing with fear and the reality of it, because it's not going to completely go away, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. So I want to help you get to a place where you can confidently go forward, confidently pull out of the driveway with all the things, with a great budget, with a great battle plan, everything that you need to seek freedom and wonder on a road trip. So please stick around for every week as we build our solo road trip, and you can begin to build your own as well. So remember, this is week 1 of the Summer of Wonder. So we're putting all the things in the book into practice, all the prep work like budgeting and navigation and figuring out your route, figuring out where you're going to stay, what you're going to eat. All of these things we're going to be doing over the course of the next few weeks. It starts with a treasure map. It ends with pulling out of the driveway and going out and seeking freedom and wonder. I can't wait to show you some of these beautiful places all over America. And as I am building my own solo road trip for this summer, I hope you will come alongside and do the same for yourself. There is so much more to come. I have a few surprises to reveal over the coming weeks about locations where I will be doing live events during my travels, and hope to meet some of you and also talk to you more about the resources that the book provides. There are just so many tools that I am going to share with you over the course of the next bunch of weeks so that you have everything that you need to seek freedom and wonder on the road. Lexi and I really hope that we'll see you out there. Until next week.